All right, now on to a story that's got everyone talking for the past few days. Timothy Omotoso, a Nigerian national, is the latest to make headlines in the spate of occurrences taking place in the religious circles in South Africa. He's accused of molesting more than 30 young girls on the pretext of rescuing them from drugs. Some of those women are reportedly as young as only 14 years. Thoko Mkhwanazi-Xaluva said the CRL Commission is working at making sure that people don't just open unregistered churches without the government's permission. Thoko joins us now in our studios here in Johannesburg. Good morning to you and thank you so much for coming through.
Thanks a lot for having us.
Thank you so much. Thoko, now, there is confirmation that Pastor Omotoso has been arrested, will appear at Port Elizabeth Magistrates Court this morning. But what's the CRL Commission's take on this whole matter?
Well, our take on the matter is that it's unfortunate that it took such a long time for these young people to come forward. But we understand it's the nature of the monster. The power that religious leaders have over communities and congregants is very strong. And it becomes difficult for people to report when wrong things happen in a church, and then they suffer quietly for a very long time. So our point of departure is that we need to make it easy for people to report, so that we prevent such things from happening and they don't take such a long time for them to come forward and report.
And I believe it's not even easy for them to come out and report, because if you look at these occurrences, Thoko, they actually work in the psychic of a person. You know, there is a say that your belief will save you, in a way. So a lot of people fall into the traps. And I believe it goes back to the issue of education. Does the Commission have any educational initiative to make sure that people do not fall prey to such?
You see, it's also how we treat the religious leaders. We believe whatever they say comes from God. And when someone, you know, takes over the power of being God on earth, it becomes difficult for people to stop them when they do something wrong. Because our understanding is that, you know, there were utterances of, no, God wants these things to happen this way. A lot of abuse we've seen is related to God. You know, religious leaders say, God said to me that this is how this thing should work. We need to dislodge that power. We need to see, you know, priesthood and pastor, you know, as a career. And we're going to propose to Parliament that we professionalize this career path, just like doctors have their own body of peer review, lawyers have, and we're proposing that there must be a peer review mechanism for religious leaders, so that people can see that they're just normal people and they've chosen a particular career. And it's not as if they phone God every morning and God tells them what to do for the day.
I'm sure you were even watching Cutting Edge last night, because some of the girls were saying, the pastor told me that God said I shouldn't be working, I should be doing business somewhere. So they misled, like you say.
Yes, they are misled, and it's easy for people to then believe, oh, if God says so, then I must do whatever he says I must do, even if it's ridiculous. So part of what we want to do is to demystify the career path that people have taken to be pastors. They are not phoning God every morning. They are not getting SMSs from God. They're just like us. They walk and talk and live on earth.
And a lot of our people they're vulnerable because of the situations that they find themselves in, be it socially and economically. But there are also reports, Thoko, that the Commission will also investigate. You were telling me earlier on that you leave in the pastor to the law enforcement agencies, but you'll also have your own investigations on the church, though.
You see, our worry and our point of understanding is that these things happen because the structures within the church have fallen flat. You need to have a system in a church where you have different committees, finance committee, this committee, that committee. And you need to have an elders forum in a church where congregants can go and report when wrong things happen. So we want to advise the church to see if they've got those structures and to make sure those structures are there, because we believe some of the young people are still within the church. How do you create an environment where they can also come forward and report?
But are you worried as the Commission with the way things are looking in South Africa? It looks like South Africa has become a playing ground for, you know, for many reasons. Let's look back at the issues where people were fed rat eggs, some were sprayed with doom, they were made to eat grass, snakes, and to drink petrol and such things. So you must be worried as the Commission. But the question is, what is the Commission doing, Thoko?
What we're doing, we had our investigative study. We finalized the report. Parliament has given us dates in June to come and present. We're proposing a mechanism whereby, number one, we're saying there shouldn't be a pastor who doesn't belong to an umbrella organization that will monitor the pastor at that level. But we're also saying, further up, there must be a peer review mechanism, a committee, a disciplinary committee of elders in that particular religion. For instance, in this case, an elders of Christians, who will then say when a pastor has been spraying doom on people and whatever, call him, sit down with him, discipline him, and then make a ruling. We are saying the point of departure is that as a pastor, you must be licensed. We must register you so that when your elders say, is no longer fit to be one of us now, then we can say we are revoking your license. You can't preach here anymore.
All right.
Go find another job somewhere.
So until the sector is regularized, there isn't really much that can be done.
There isn't.
Yeah, but you were also telling me earlier on that you have visited this church before and you were not satisfied with some of its paperwork. Talk to us about that.
We, during our investigative study, there were one of the people we called over. Their form of registration was not satisfactory. We discussed it with them that there's something wrong with their paperwork. They said, no, it's CPRO that made the mistake. And we said, be that as it may, we need to stay with you a bit longer and look at how we are registered. How do we correct this thing? So we're still in the process of doing that. Okay. Because you see, it's when systems collapse that other things go very wrong. People might think it's just paperwork, but paperwork is an indication of other things that might not be correct. Hence, part of what we're proposing is that there should be a stricter mechanism of registering churches. Not what we have now, that you register if you like and you don't if you don't like.
But are you perhaps also looking at working with municipalities? Because that is where you get a lot of these tents everywhere, an open space. The next day you go there, there's a tent and there's a new pastor. People go to that church. Don't you think that is actually the point of departure?
We're looking at all of that, that every church must be registered. The pastor must be registered, the church must be registered. And we need to know where you are so that we have an inkling as a nation how many churches we have. Right now, we don't. People say maybe 100,000, maybe 120. It cannot be that we don't know what's happening. You wake up in the morning and you say you got an indication from God. You go buy your own tent, you put it there. In the evening, you start up a church. It can't be like that.
But quickly, Thoko, as the Commission, do you think there is light at the end of the tunnel? A lot of people are saying that it looks like the Commission is a toothless body.
Well, let them watch and then comment.
All right.
Once we amend our act, we'll be able to calm this situation down. There will be order.
All right. No, we'll leave it at that, Thoko. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot for having us.
Thank you very much indeed. That was Thoko Mkhwanazi-Xaluva. She is the chairperson of the CRL Rights Commission, talking to us about the recent spate of incidents in the religious front, more so here in South Africa. Let's take a break here on Morning Live. There is still so much more to come.